All right, everybody, it is early morning, September 3rd, 2025, and Hurricane Kiko, a Category 2 hurricane in the eastern Pacific Ocean, may be moving closer to Hawaii as we're going into the middle of next week. Hey, everybody, Meteorologist Drew Davis alongside with you. We've got a no-hype forecast for you today when it comes to Kiko, and also a cold front moving across other parts of the United States. Let's get right into it. I want to show you the latest track from the National Hurricane Center when it comes to Hurricane Kiko. This, again, is a Category 2 storm out there. You can see her right here, and it is going to continue moving off towards the west over the next couple of days. It is actually expected to strengthen to Category 3 strength by the time we get to around Thursday, 12 a.m., and then getting to, again, back to Category 2 strength and Category 1 strength by Sunday morning and Sunday evening. One of the things that I want to talk about with this system is there's a lot of uncertainty when it comes to the intensity of Hurricane Kiko as it continues moving off towards the west and northwest. We're starting to see more agreement in the long-term weather models when it comes to the path of the storm. You can still see high variability as you're getting further out in time. There's actually lower pressure north of the island chain that's developing, pulling the storm further northward. But again, like I was mentioning, there's a lot of uncertainty when you get closer to the island chain. It's still too early to see the impacts of the storm, especially as we're getting into the middle of next week. There's still too early out there, so we're just showing you some of the latest data, giving you a better idea. Sea surface temperatures out there, this is the departure from normal when it comes to the sea surface temperatures across the island chain. You can see out there the areas in the red, the areas in the pink, that's water that's warmer than normal. That's actually allowed Kiko to develop to Category 2 strength, but the waters around Hawaii are actually a little bit cooler than normal, which should provide a little bit of protection from the island chain. Again, Kiko is expected to strengthen to a Category 3 as we go into this upcoming Thursday and Friday. Still a Category 3 as we're going into the weekend, but as it moves into this cooler water patch that's just past 140 degrees west. That's actually the divider between the central and eastern Pacific right here, 140 degrees west longitude. It's going to be putting this system to a weaker category, a weaker intensity, but out past that, we really don't have much of an idea. You can actually see in the 500 millibar geopotential heights, you can see out there, there's high pressure right here that's actually developing the trade wind flow that we're seeing right now out of the east and northeast. But like I mentioned, there's lower pressure up towards our north, to the far north and the northern Pacific. This is actually going to creep down over the next couple of days, and it's actually going to pull Hurricane Kiko out towards a little bit closer to us. You can see this lower pressure, kind of a cutoff low over the next couple of days. It's going to get closer to us on Saturday and Sunday, pulling the system up towards the north. So again, we're watching that very closely to see how that impacts the path of Hurricane Kiko. Surface temperatures out there, again, this is just actual surface temperatures. It's moving into cooler waters. You can see, I'm just going to read some of the temperatures out where Kiko is right now. So again, right now you're seeing 80-degree temperatures just north of it as it's getting into Saturday and Sunday, and out where it is right now, 82, so a little bit warmer. And of course, the waters closer to Hawaii are much cooler, in the upper 70s, which isn't conducive for hurricane development. I'm going to show you this with a grain of salt. This is the European model. It's just one of the models, so you can see it moves in the middle of next week, bringing the system in towards the Big Island, remnant rainfall for everywhere else. Of course, the Big Island really needs rainfall. It's the driest of the islands. Level 3 out of 4 drought conditions over on parts of Hawaii Island near Waimea, and then, of course, we need rain across the entire state. One other thing that we've been watching is the shear. With this more northward turn that we've been tracking, you actually see Kiko moving into a more favorable environment when it comes to wind shear, but as it gets closer to the island chain, there's going to be some more wind shear, actually because of that upper level low that we've been taking a look at. Outside of that, we're also monitoring the Atlantic. The National Hurricane Center is monitoring an area with a high chance for development. This tropical wave right here that we mentioned yesterday is expected to continue moving off towards the west and northwest, but it might curve out back towards the Atlantic Ocean. One of the reasons, again, is because of the high pressure, the Bermuda High over the Atlantic Ocean. Just a closer look look at this wave, it's really disorganized. You don't see any activity out there, but again, we are going to be seeing that develop over the next 7 days or so. Just showing you one of the models going further in time. This again is the slow burn development that we're expecting with this system going into Friday, Saturday. Might have a tropical depression by the time we get into this weekend, and like I mentioned, you might see some recurve back out into the Atlantic Ocean because of the Bermuda High. Again, this is going to evolve over the next couple of days. I want to show you this. So we've got right here, we've got this Bermuda High. You can see on the 500 millibar geopotential heights map. This is going to evolve and actually push a little bit further towards the west, get a little bit stronger over the next couple of days. So as the system develops, you're going to see the storm that could potentially develop in the eastern Atlantic. It'll curve around this strong high pressure system. And again, we're going to have to watch that very closely. Outside of that, yesterday we were talking about a big cool down over the northeastern parts of the United States. Climate Prediction Center still has much cooler weather for the northeast, parts of the southern Great Plains and the Midwest out there. We're getting our first taste of fall going forward, and also some higher than average temperatures over the western half of the United States. Here's a look at the IR satellite. Here is actually what we're looking at. This is the baby version of that mid-latitude cyclone. It's starting to get its act together. You can see the cold front that's starting to sweep over Minnesota, Wisconsin, parts of Iowa. It's going to continue pushing across the northeast as this mid-latitude cyclone. You can kind of see the counterclockwise circulation right up here of the low pressure system. It's going to continue moving towards the southeast. Again, we were talking about yesterday how if this was happening in the winter with this trough digging into the northeastern United States like this, you would be seeing really, really cold temperatures, freezing Arctic air moving across the state, but still warm enough out there to where we're not seeing that, just a big cool down. Seeing some ridging out over the western half of the United States. Also, there's that high pressure system that was kind of driving Kiko out there. So we're going to continue to see that trough impacting the United States. Again, just taking a quick look at one of the models when it comes to the development of this mid-latitude cyclone, bringing that cooler air in from the north. You can see it continuing to spin throughout Wednesday evening, seeing some rainfall over Missouri, eastern Kansas, near Kansas City, and then it starts to continue moving off towards the east as you're going into Thursday morning. This is around 5 a.m., so impacting parts of Pennsylvania, New York, potentially even New York City and Boston by the time you get to around Thursday evening, starting to spin off as you're going into Friday. Maybe another weak front as you're going into Saturday and Sunday. That could potentially even bring maybe some isolated severe weather with it. So we're watching that closely as well. Outside of that, all eyes are on Hurricane Kiko. That seems to be the first storm that's really expected to impact at least parts of Hawaii. It's expected to weaken before it gets to us. Thank you for tuning in. This is a little bit of a different video. Of course, I'm stationed here at Hawaii News Now in Honolulu, Hawaii, and it's just a little bit different. It's fun to get to talk about the tropical weather that I'm used to forecasting for. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure to like and subscribe, and this has been Meteorologist Drew Davis.